Hello friends. So this is our second lecture on Indigo. As usual, we will start with our method, communicative method. So first we will start with the words. Now you have got recount. Recount means to tell. Yesterday my grandmother recounted many stories about her childhood. Good sentence. Sharecropper. Sharecropper means one who shares the product of his cultivation with the landlord. Peasants have no land, but they take land. They take land on a rent basis. The rent is not given in kind, but not in cash, but in kind. Part of the thing. In Bihar, once upon a time, this arrangement of sharecropping was very common. And then illiterate, one who cannot read or write. Most of the peasants are illiterate, not now, but once upon a time. Say 1940s, 30s and so on. In villages, there were, almost all of them were illiterate, means they could not read or write. Resolute means firm, determined. Many students, who get first rank and so on, they are very resolute in their studies. Determined, they are resolute that they should pass. That is, you are determined. Sitting on his haunches. Sitting on his haunches means sitting on bent knees. You bend your knees and sit, that is. You can see many beggars sitting on their haunches on the roadside. They will sit with bent knees and they will be begging, sitting on their haunches. The yeoman means a farmer who cultivates his land. Yeomans, they are owners of their land also, but not peasants. Peasants, they have no ownership, but yeomen, they have ownership of the land. Now you can see that in the 14th century England, there used to be many yeomen. That's a sentence, but here also you will see around many yeomen, means people who cultivate their land, but at the same time they own their land. That is as opposed to peasants. Peasants, they don't own their land. And then pester means trouble, harass, bother. Children always pester their parents. Pester means that is in the positive sense, not negative sense. They will be asking this way, that way, I want this, buy that. That's called pestering. So, children pestering is a positive sense, but sometimes your neighbors will pester you with demands. That will be negative. So, people usually don't like pestering neighbors. So, pestering means they ask about this thing and that thing. There are many demands, you have to fulfill their demand. Such people are called pestering people. Understand? Yes. And then you have got, so I think it is all clear. Now, recount means to tell. Sharecropper means one who shares his crop with his landlord. A peasant who shares his land, who has to share his crop, the product of his cultivation with the landlord. Illiterate, one who cannot read or write. Resolute means firm. Are you resolute in your decision? Are you resolute in your decision? Are you firm in your decision? Sitting on his haunches means sitting with bent knees, that is roadside. You will find that. Yeoman means a person who cultivates his own land. And pester means bothering or harassing. Alright. And today's main points are, Louis Fisher's visit to Gandhiji's ashram at Sevagram. Second is Rajkumar Shukla. He is the hero of this section. And not only this section, this lesson also. Rajkumar Shukla, a poor emaciated means very thin and weak, emaciated. I think that is not written here, isn't it? Emaciated. Usually peasants are emaciated people, means very thin, very poor and thin, that is emaciated. Then poor emaciated peasant from Champaran in Bihar meets Gandhi. So that is an encounter. Encounter means a meeting between Rajkumar Shukla, an indigo sharecropper in Champaran district in Bihar. And then Rajkumar, a sharecropper, seeks Gandhiji's help to free the Champaran indigo sharecroppers from their bondage to the landlords. There is an arrangement. In fact, there was an arrangement in Champaran those days, that is in 1920s, 1970s, 1920s, before the independence, that part of the crop you have to hand over to the landlord as rent. So that it was a kind of bondage. They wanted to get freedom. And these landlords or zamindars, they used to exploit these people, poor people, illiterate persons, emaciated persons. They are unable to keep their body and soul together. They don't get enough income. Such people they were exploiting. So Rajkumar Shukla traveled all the way from Champaran, that is Bihar, to the ashram. And then he wanted to meet Gandhiji and ask Gandhiji to help us to liberate us from the bondage of the sharecropping business in Champaran. Yes, because they were exploited. Impressed by the tenacity, that also is not written, tenacity. Tenacity means firmness, tenacity. Tenacity, oh I thought tenacity, that means you are very firm and resolute, that's the point, resolute, tenacity. Understand? Yes. Impressed by the tenacity of certain people, we will obey them. Some people they come with, they are very firm on their demand, and at last what do you have to give in? That is tenacity means. You are very firm on your demands. Tenacity, the ability that is perseverance, you can say. The ability to persevere in a particular thing, that is perseverance, tenacity. Those people who get the rank and selection as IAS and so on, selection in IAS and so on, they have got that tenacity to study. They can put in all their effort and their might, that is their tenacity. Yes. And then you have got Gandhiji agrees to go to Bihar with him. Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla at the house of Rajendra Prasad in Patna. Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India. He was also the president of Congress Party. Now this is all about today's section. So you find Rajkumar Shukla, not Rajendra Prasad, Rajkumar Shukla, meeting Gandhiji. He has got a petition, his petition, and he is very firm, very resolute. He comes with a petition that in Champaran district in Bihar, the landlords are exploiting us. I am also a poor person and indigo sharecropper. Please come, like me, there are many, number of them. So they are exploiting us. Therefore, my dear Gandhiji, Guruji, please come to our place and talk to them and save us. Because we have heard that you are a great liberator. Understand? So that's all today's. Then you have got 3 questions. You can think of these questions. Why did Shukla follow Gandhiji wherever he went? Why did he follow Gandhiji? Because Gandhiji first said that I have this business, that business, I have to go there, I have to go to different part of India and so on. So what happened there? Till he agreed to go with him to Champaran, he was accompanying Gandhiji wherever he went. So that is the tenacity of that poor peasant. That is, he was so resolute about it, very firm about it, that I will take Gandhiji with me. Second question is, what quality of Shukla impressed Gandhiji? Tenacity. Tenacity and his power of resolution. That I will take Gandhiji. Gandhiji made many, we can say, excuses. See, I have to go to Calcutta, I have to go to attend the Congress Party's annual meeting, I have to go to different parts of India. So therefore, you see, I have never heard of this place, he said, Champaran district. But Rajkumar Shukla said, so you have to come, Guruji, you have to come. So that is a kind of pestering also, but in a positive way. So that is, he was impressed by the tenacity of this peasant. Why didn't the servants allow Gandhiji to draw water from the well? When Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla landed in Bihar. First, that is Patna railway station. First they went to Rajendra Prasad's house. So the people there thought that the both are peasants. They were sitting outside, only they were allowed to sit on the grounds. Then when Gandhiji wanted to draw some water, the servants there did not allow. When they reached there, Rajendra Prasad was not there. So the servants said, no, we will not allow you to draw water from our well, because how do we know that you are not an untouchable? Untouchability was still prevalent in those days. So that if drops of water fall in the river, in the well from your bucket, then the entire water will be polluted, and therefore they said that you are not allowed to draw water from our well. What a situation. Untouchable, isn't it? I mean, now you got a picture of it, now I will read. But as I always say, strictly, we are not allowed to, I should not read the text. Students should read the text and try to find the answers here. But since this is a virtual class and you are not present here, I will read it for you. Okay, so that is a concession. Right. When I first visited Gandhi in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram in central India, he said, I will tell you how it happened, that I decided to urge the departure of the British. It was in 1970. So probably you might have asked him, he must have asked, Louis Fisher might have asked Gandhiji, how did he visited Gandhiji's ashram at Sevagram, and he might have asked this question, how did you began your efforts or this independent struggle to throw the British out of India? How all these things happened? Then he said, I will tell you how it happened. It started somewhere in 1970. The idea of sending the British out of India, the idea came to my mind, or came to my mind in the year 1970. And the background now he says, I will tell you. I will tell you that. And what is that? He had gone to, Gandhiji had gone to the December 1916 annual convention of the Indian National Congress Party in Lucknow. There was 2,301 delegates and many visitors. During the proceedings, Gandhiji recounted means told the story of a peasant. A peasant came up to me like any other peasant in India, poor and emaciated, and said to me, I am Rajkumar Shukla. I am from Champaran and I want you to come to my district. Gandhi had never heard of the place. So this is all how it happened. 1916 December, he was in Lucknow, Gandhiji was in Lucknow to attend the Indian National Congress Party's annual convention. Then what happened? A poor fellow, a peasant from Bihar, Champaran district, poor and emaciated, poor and thin, and very, unable. Such people don't even get. They don't even get an opportunity to eat one full meal a day. Such kind of people, they're very poor. Said to me, what did I say? What did he say? He said there are many delegates, 2,301 delegates, but during the proceedings, this man Gordon somehow managed to meet Gandhiji and said that I am Rajkumar Shukla, I am from Champaran and I want you to come to my district. And Gandhiji said, Gandhiji had never heard of such a place. It was in the foothills of the towering Himalayas near the kingdom of Nepal. So geographically, where is Champaran? Champaran is at the foothill of the towering Himalaya. Towering with tall Himalayas, no? Like a fort Himalayas near the kingdom of Nepal. Under an ancient arrangement, the Champaran peasants were sharecroppers. So once upon a time, then maybe years ago, when even Rajkumar Shukla was a very small boy, an arrangement was made between landlords. Those days, landlords were Europeans, the Britishers. So the Britishers and the local people, they owned the land. They were so to say semindars. British as well as very rich people of the locality, that means owners of the land, They made an arrangement with the poor peasants that you can cultivate our land, but part of the share. Part of the share means that will be determined by the landowner. You have to hand over to us. That is an arrangement. And it was really a kind of exploitation. Rajkumar Shukla was one of them. The sharecropper, one of the sharecroppers. He was illiterate, unable to read or write, but he was resolute. Resolute means firm. Anyhow, I will take Mahatma Gandhi with me to Champaran, then we will start some kind of a struggle under his leadership, whatever happens. So he was resolute. He had come to the Congress sessions to complain about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar, and somebody had probably said, speak to Gandhi. Landlord system is Zamindari system. Zamindari system means the farmers, they cannot and they will not be allowed to own land. Entire land will be under the ownership of the Zamindar. Zameen means your soil. Zameen, land. Zamindar means the lord of the land. So lord of the land, lords of the land, they were the people who were holding the land. The poor peasants, they will be working 24 hours on this, but they are given a very small amount as their wages, a kind of bonded labor. So Rajkumar Shukla was fed up with this. Somehow he wanted to get rid of this, so he was resolute. Landlord system. And somebody had told him, you speak to Gandhi, that will be a solution. Gandhi told Shukla, he had an appointment in Kanpur and was also committed to go to other parts of India. So he made excuses. See, Mr. Rajkumar Shukla, I can understand your position, but you see, I have to go to Kanpur and also other parts of India. People are inviting me to go there. Gandhi told Shukla, he had an appointment, and then he made an excuse. Shukla accompanied him everywhere. That's the thing. Shukla said, I will not leave you. I will come along with you, wherever you go. My needs are very small. So I can go anywhere, I can sleep anywhere. A little bit of food will be water I will draw from the nearby river, I will take that from the nearby river or something like that. So I will come with you till you come with me. So wherever he went. Then Gandhi returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad. Shukla followed him to the ashram. So from Kanpur, different parts of India, still, and at last he came back to square one from ashram. He came back to ashram. For weeks, he never left Gandhiji's side. Whenever Gandhi gets up and look, he will be there, doing something, sitting there, waiting for him. For weeks, imagine, that is tenacity of a person. That is how resolute he was. Gandhiji said, fix a date, he begged. Oh Gandhiji, you fix a date. You are very busy man, I know, but you fix a date. Impressed by the sharecropper's tenacity and stay, Gandhiji said, see, I have to be in Calcutta on such and such date. Come and meet me and take me from there. At last Gandhiji gave in. Gandhiji said, see, on such and such date, he told him a fixed date. Then he said, I will be in Calcutta, come there. And then I will go together to your Champaran district. Then he said, months passed. Shukla was sitting on his haunches at the appointed spot in Calcutta. Appointed spot means the fixed spot, Calcutta. When Gandhi arrived, he waited till Gandhi was free. Oh my God, what a person. Tenacity of a person. Students should have such tenacity. So he was sitting on his haunches, I told you, bent knees, somewhere, poor man. No chair, not even a stool to sit. But he was sitting on his legs. Till Gandhiji said, you wait there. So he was waiting there. Till he was free, he was waiting there. Then the two of them boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. There, Shukla led him to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad, who later became president of the Congress party and the president of India. So at that time, Rajendra Prasad was having a soaring practice. He was a lawyer in Patna, and he was well known. Therefore, this sharecropper used to go to Rajkumar Shukla also used to go to Rajendra Prasad begging for, or as the servants said, pestering him to do something to move legally against these landlords. So the servants at Rajendra Prasad's house knew him. So he said, come on, we will go, Gandhiji, we will go there. I know a lawyer here in the city. His name is Rajendra Prasad. We will go, and he is a well-known person. We can take his help also because he is a local man. Rajendra Prasad was out of town, but the servants knew Shukla as a poor yeoman who pestered their master to help the indigo sharecroppers. So indigo cultivators. So the servants there knew this Shukla because he used to go there to meet Rajendra Prasad, begging him to intervene legally to save the indigo sharecroppers of Champaran. So they let him stay on the ground with his companion Gandhi, whom they took to be another peasant. So the servants don't know, servants didn't know who Gandhiji was. So they knew Shukla. So when they saw Gandhiji with the Shukla, and Gandhiji, he used to be appearing very simple, he used to be very simple. So they thought that he is also a peasant. So they said, you please wait outside, on the ground you can sit. Don't come here, because our master Rajendra Prasad is not here, he is out of town. When he comes, we can meet him, he said. But yeah, we will not allow you to come to our house. Untouchability, yes. But Gandhi was not permitted to draw water from the well, lest drops from the bucket pollute the entire source. How do they know? That he was not an untouchable? So Gandhiji wanted to draw some water from the well. The servants said, no, don't do that. Why? Because while you are drawing the water, drops will fall down naturally. When you are drawing water with a bucket, drop or part of it falls down in the well, back in the well. And then they said, we don't know whether you are an untouchable or not. So you will be polluting the entire water there. The source means the well water. Therefore, he was not allowed to do that. What a situation, isn't it? This was in 1917, and we know untouchability means the low class people were not allowed to move around or go near high caste people. Same with even drawing water from a well. A low caste person was not allowed, not prohibited from drawing water from a well owned by a high caste man or high caste people. Understand? That was untouchability. That was still prevalent those days. So that is the point here. As I hope that you got an idea. Louis Fisher asks Gandhiji, how did he get this idea of sending the British out of India? And he said it all happened in 1917. I was attending the annual convention of the Indian National Congress Party like now. So a poor man, a poor peasant from Champaran came all the way to Lucknow to meet me. And then I gave him many excuses. I said, I have to go to many places. I have to go to Calcutta, I have to go to Coimbatore and so on. Then therefore I simply cannot come. I don't know that place also. Then Rajkumar Shukla did not give in, but what happened was he went with Gandhiji wherever he went. At last Gandhiji was compelled, so to say, a catch-22 situation we can say. No? So, or you can say an obsessive compulsive situation for Gandhiji. And Gandhiji said, okay, Sinha, I will be going to Calcutta, you come there, together we will go there. So, even before Gandhiji reached Calcutta, Rajkumar Shukla was there waiting for him, sitting on his haunches. And when Gandhiji came, they met, and Gandhiji said, together they boarded the train. After Gandhiji's engagement in Calcutta, together they boarded the train to Patna. Reaching Patna, Rajkumar Shukla took him to Rajendra Prasad's house. Rajendra Prasad was not there. He was a well-known lawyer. He became later the president of Indian National Congress and also president of India. You know, who is the first president of India? The answer is Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, isn't it? And the servants knew Rajkumar Shukla because he used to go there asking help from Rajendra Prasad. But the servants thought that the other man, as Gandhiji, was also a peasant like Rajkumar Shukla. So they allowed him to sit on the grounds and wait. But Gandhiji wanted to draw some water from the well, they did not allow because they were not sure whether Gandhiji was also an untouchable. If he were an untouchable, then the well water will be polluted by him, spoiled, that is pollution. So by touching or by, they believed that if a low caste man touches something, that thing will be polluted or that will be spoiled forever there. So such people, when they touch and they find that it has been touched by these people, they will throw away those things, not even to keep them in their house. That was the situation, social system. No? When you think of today's standards, how terrible was this untouchability that was prevalent in those days. We should be ashamed of that, isn't it? Yes. Now we can see once again questions here. Why did Shukla follow Gandhiji wherever he went? Because he wanted to get a date. He wanted to get a date to go with him to Champaran and do something for the indigo sharecroppers of Champaran, who were exploited by the landlords. And then what quality of Shukla we already saw, how resolute he was, but his tenacity. How do you know that? How do you know his tenacity? Because the moment he met Gandhiji, he did not leave him. Wherever he went with him. Then at last he got a date. Then so Calcutta. So he went prior to Gandhiji's reaching Calcutta. He went there, and he was sitting there on his haunches at the appointed spot. So from there you understand that he had the quality of tenacity. Why didn't servants allow Gandhi? Because Gandhi thought that Gandhiji was also a peasant like Rajkumar Shukla, and that he might be an untouchable, and therefore if he draws water and part of the water will definitely fall down in the well, and then the well water will be polluted. So the source will be polluted, and so they did not allow Gandhiji to draw water from the well. Is there any doubt regarding anything? Words are there ready? Then questions, the main points, I think this is very clear to you. So this is my method. In my method I told you, strictly if I follow, I wouldn't read this. Still there is what we call, this is virtual class, I am reading. Otherwise definitely teachers should not read the lessons, but instead the students should read the lesson and try to find the answer to the question. Then the process will be there, and the students will get involved in that. That is, I would humbly tell my teacher friends also to try this in their classrooms and see whether this method will be successful or unsuccessful and useful to the students or not. That's only I am not always only but I must sharing. It's not always I am nobody to address teachers. So bye, have a nice time, enjoy your life.